Hello, welcome back to Art of Awakening. Big welcome if you're new. My name is Ona Christie. This is my studio, and we're going to do a reading energy update today for the week of January 12th, 2020. And so we are just coming out of this amazing period of releasing and purification. All of last year, 2019, for many of us, myself definitely included, I call it the year of the big purge, a lot of releasing, a lot of working through stuff, letting it go, shedding, and really culminating. I'm feeling really culminating in just like last Friday with that full moon lunar eclipse, which was visible in Asia, but it's felt all over the world, and that was in the sign of Cancer. So very emotional, a lot of kind of relationship shifting, purification, letting go, changing. And I personally went out and had this beautiful ceremony. I had a friend of mine with me, and we both wrote down what we were releasing, just everything that we were letting go, just for our whole lives, really, and the blessings as well, and the lessons as well as what we wanted to release. And so we went out under the moon and just burned that, and it just felt really good. It feels like it's opening up for new directions and for new things, new creative projects, all sorts of things coming forward. So if you are still in this kind of releasing process, or feeling like you just came through a releasing process, and if you want to take advantage of that lunar eclipse kind of new moon energy, we're still in that in the next couple weeks. And if you want to do some kind of releasing ceremony, that can be a really good way to sort of clear the slate and move forward. Now, I want to just sort of bring up that this kind of purification stuff happening, it's happening because we're getting all these new energies in. The earth herself is shifting. We are really in this ascending phase. And this purification process is likely going to continue to happen, because what it's doing is it's opening us up to be able to operate in that higher frequency energy. But so, it's not that it's like we're done purifying ever, but it feels like sort of it's moving, opening up for sort of stepping past that intense sort of feeling of purification. Now, that's all depends on kind of where you're at, because you personally may have, be at certain places, or me in our cycles where we need to purify more or release more or so forth. But I'm feeling like in general, it's sort of like, yes, there's still purification going on always, but there's a certain amount of release that has happened or that has been supported and happening, that we can now start to just really start taking advantage of this opening up that's happened. So really good time to manifest new things, to start thinking about new creative projects, but remembering that it doesn't all have to happen at once. This is the beginning of a brand new year, a brand new decade, a really brand new age in itself. So I tuned in and asked just for the message for this week. And the first thing I was shown was this image of a snake. And there's a message that goes along with that, but I wanted to show you this. So snake does have a connection with the Archangel Raphael, the Archangel of Healing. And the message was humble yourself. To humble oneself is to make oneself low like the snake. Like the snake, travel belly to the earth, heart to heart with Mother Earth. Feeling vibrations with the tongue, tasting the air for sound. Stay low, stay inconspicuous. This is about service. Your work is about service. And it goes on to say, even if you need to be in the limelight, even if you have to promote yourself, maybe you have to step up into, I'm getting sort of like maybe I'm feeling like somebody is being asked to step onto a board or to step into a position of leadership. You may be asked to do that, but it's saying that you can do that with humility. Also, the message is coming in is that sometimes to actually be humility humble requires us to step into out of our comfort zone, okay? Because sometimes what ego does is say, oh, I could never do that, or who am I to do that, right? Or, I don't have any value. Um, and so sometimes humility means to just kind of stay low, but when it's saying it be inconspicuous, sometimes it's the conspicuousness is ego saying, you can't do that, I can't do that. And sometimes it's like, so feel into where's the comfort zone, right? Or where do you feel like, oh my God, I got to prove myself, right? Because that's the other end of it. It's like, that's where it's saying just stay inconspicuous. You can step back. You can let others have the limelight sometimes, right? And to just feel into where can you be best of service, okay? Because that's what they go on to say. Um, Redirect the intention to spirit. It's not about you. Use your gifts to glorify the divine spirit within all that you shed light upon. Feel the gratitude for the all that enabled and enables you to practice your gifts. Humility and gratitude, gifts of the heart. Okay, so it's really about stepping in your gifts, acknowledging your gifts. What are you really here for, right? And what are the things that really bring you joy, the things that maybe others recognize you for and go to you for, okay? And things that just you do naturally that are easy for you. Sometimes we overlook what's easiest for us because we think it's so easy that it doesn't really have any value. But think in terms of, it's not easy for everybody else, right? And so how do we use those gifts in a way that really comes from the heart? And how can we use them to be of service to others? And this is whether it's simply from your heart, something that you do naturally, um, or whether you want to make it into a career, which means that there always, when we're talking about being of service, there does need to be energy exchange. This isn't about letting other people bleed you dry, right? It's about using your gifts in a way that makes you feel uplifted, that supports you, and that way there's this beautiful overflow that happens that blesses everybody else too. It's about really being in our blessed truth. Um, okay, so, and that's healing, right? That's the snake, that's the caduceus, right? The snake, if you turn it this way, um, and imagine that staff, usually there's two snakes right there, but that is the symbol of healing universally. And it also does have to do with shedding. So I actually think how to do this because I'm sort of getting to do this over again. I actually recorded this whole thing earlier and it just, it didn't go. And I had done the whole reading. I'm using 3 decks here. This is my Spirit Animal Awareness deck. So I'm going to pull the first card out of this and see what comes forward this time around. And it is Eagle. So eagle, again, this eagle is this beautiful, I always see it as like this big picture and really big guidance. Big spirit guidance is eagle. So this is a really opportune week to allow spirit to just come in. Again, this is talking about your gifts. This is your truth. This is what you are here on the planet to do. And this is acknowledging that in a big, big way. The energy is really good for that. So don't feel shy, but do feel humble, right? Because when we are given these gifts, it's not to say how great we are, but it's to really humble ourselves before spirit. And it's like, this is what spirit entrusted me with. in order to take it out into the world and embody spiritual power through my own self. This is about embodiment and grounding. Okay, so grounding is a huge message for this week. Remember, it said heart to heart with Mother Earth, really connecting with the earth, because it's very easy when we're talking about our big gifts, right? To like the shadow side of ego is this kind of abuse of power, this pridefulness, kind of a bullying kind of thing. It's easy to step into pride, right? When we are dealing with gifts, because every single one of us has superpowers that we were given, spiritual superpowers, whatever it is, things that we're really good at, even things that we're good at. It might be fixing cars. It could be whatever it is, but whatever you're a wizard at, and trust me, there is something that you're a wizard at. If you don't think there is, think again, because you weren't put on this planet to be mediocre. You were put on this planet to be great. So really keep that in mind. Ego is this funny thing. It can take us into this huge thing of overbearing kind of pride, but it can also have this pride in it's sort of like this overly humble, right? To where, oh, I can't do it, or I don't have any talents, or I'm just a stupid dumb bleep, right? They're both equally prideful, right? So we want to come out of that and into humility and just receiving the gifts that we have, acknowledging that and saying, how can I be of service with these? Okay, so this next deck is the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms deck from Colette Baron Reed. And this is, okay, the Desert Prince. Survival, false promises. I'm feeling like this is the energy we're coming out of, having to just kind of survive, and no matter what. Okay, so this like any archetype is going to have its positive, its negative. I really am feeling this is kind of showing up as this is the negative that we're just releasing, letting go of. And there's the moon in the background, right? Big full moon for release. Releasing this feeling of having to, fight for just our basic needs, or, whatever it is. This feeling of being in the desert and not having enough, not enough water, not enough food, not enough beauty, or whatever it is, right? Not enough love. And it's time to really release this guy and move into, because look, he's got a river right behind him. Look, he's not even looking at it. He feels like he's in the desert, but behind him is this huge abundance of water, life, right? Water is life. Okay, so really feeling into that. We are surrounded by life. We're surrounded every day. The sun shines every day, and it's life coming down at us. We've got Mother Earth below us. Feel into the gravity of Mother Earth. She's this humongously huge being that we're all a part of, and she's tremendous abundance. And we all have that. We are all connected with Mother Earth, heart to heart. Okay, so leaving behind this sense of having to survive and having to fight for, what is our basic rights and basic living, right? Going beyond that. And so sometimes really acknowledging our gifts, it's this act of courage, right? Because sometimes when we realize, what our real truth is, we got to let go of what we were clinging to. Okay, so this third deck is the Archangel Michael deck. I'm just going to felt strongly that I needed to pull this in. He is the Archangel of Protection. And by the way, if you're enjoying this, then please do subscribe, like. I very much appreciate your likes and your comments. And appreciate you all for being here. Let's see what Michael has to say. And by the way, I've got a new project, a new Oracle deck I'm starting, I want to tell you about. So look at this beautiful card, a favorable outcome. Okay, so like this is, he says, don't worry, right? Don't worry. You start tuning into your gifts, what you're here for. You will be led. You're going to be led in this right direction, right? Maintaining that connection with Mother Earth, staying grounded, staying humble, but still looking for the big picture, opening up to the guidance. And it's going to take us out of this whole desert kind of mentality and into a favorable outcome. This is beautiful because this is really setting the tone for the entire year, the entire decade of the 20s. And it's like there's I'm not gonna sugarcoat this. There's still gonna be a lot of this energy in the 2020s. Okay? This is what we're moving to transcend. So just like keeping aware of there is this abundance that is here for all of us. Always kind of keeping that in mind, keeping that faith, because this will be showing up, but we don't need to be focusing on it. We don't need to be holding ourselves in that energy. There's stuff beyond it. Oh yes, and so I just wanted to let you know about this new this new deck I'm working on. I am so humbled and so grateful to have been chosen for this. I am collaborating with a woman named Jackie Rushton, and she works with the bees, and she is a wise woman practitioner, herbalist, and has done amazing work with bees and bee shamanism, bee kind of spirituality. And the bees are an amazing, amazing spirit animal, and really feeling like ushering in this divine feminine. I'm feeling the bees working with me a lot this past year. And so we are working on an oracle deck. It'll be 48 cards, each card. And I just wanted to show you this. This is just some little preliminary thing I was doing with the honeycomb. But we're working with the energy of the bees, and it's going to be fabulous. But I just started. This is the first one that I'm working on. It'll be the swarm. The bees themselves aren't in here yet. But if you are interested in following along with the creation of this deck, I am going to be posting on it. It's probably going to be, I would guess, a month-long project. It's going to be, it's a big project. But I've started a new Instagram channel. I'll leave the link to that below. I'll be posting periodically about this deck on that as well. Would love if you would follow me on that. And with that, I want to just thank you for holding out here this long for this reading. And it's a delight to have you along. Thank you so much. I love you all, and have a wonderful week. I'll catch you again soon.